Welcome to part 2 of our look at youth leadership training at Philmont. Youth leadership training at Philmont started in the summer of 1949 and over the next 25 years changed and grew at Philmont until it unceremoniously ended in 1974. According to the National Council, registrations were down and the cost of providing the program was unsustainable for the BSA. Add to this that the private funding that allowed the 1971 and 72 transition to troop leader development was discontinued. From 1974 to 1981, there was no youth leadership training at Philmont. Then a new champion of youth leadership training came on the scene and looked at new ways to deliver this valuable training and bring back youth leadership training to Philmont Scout Ranch. We'll learn more about the revitalization of youth leadership training at Philmont over the last 43 years in this edition of Artifact of the Week. In 1981, Carl Nelson from the National Scouting Committee wanted to reintroduce youth leadership training to Philmont. He knew it would have to be financially self-sufficient, and one way to accomplish this would be to deliver the training with a fully volunteer-based staff. Nelson was able to get the right people to sign off on a 2-year commitment, and in 1981, 32 scouts and a small all-volunteer staff assembled in the orchard at Rayado for the new NYLT course. Youth leadership training was back at Philmont. In 1982 and 1983, they ran 2 troops with 72 participants each year. For the 1981 and 82 courses, they didn't have a formal syllabus, but more a collection of outlines of topics to be covered each day. By the 1983 course, these were formalized into a syllabus that was used for the next 10 years. The relaunched NYLT ran for 2 weeks each summer. In 1993, NYLT moved from Rayado and Maxwell Mesa to Rocky Mountain Scout Camp, which was found along the road leading to the Stockade and Lover's Leap. The syllabus also underwent modification at this time. The new syllabus integrated elements of scouting in action and introduced the use of a reflection process to enhance the learning experience and to help foster trust and understanding within the patrols. The syllabus also included a renewed emphasis on the program and activities of the Junior Leader Training Conference to help participants learn how to take these lessons back to their home units, districts, and councils. There were also additional resources for the staff to help them prepare to deliver the program and an enhanced staff development process designed to help the staff be better resources for the participants. Once the program was moved to Rocky Mountain Scout Camp, the program ran with 2 troops of 30 to 36 scouts for each of the 2 weeks. In 1995, an additional week was added, so as many as 215 scouts could participate in NYLT each summer. As an incentive for scouts to return to their home units and councils and apply the lessons they learned in the program, a new gold program patch was created. While each participant received an NYLT patch at the conclusion of the course, the gold patch had to be earned by completing 4 training activities once you returned to your home council. Each scout had 2 years to complete the 4 training activities before they turned 18. When Wood Badge for the 21st century was introduced in the early 2000s, it was realized the BSA needed a better alignment between adult leadership training and youth leadership training. NYLT focused on the trainer or instructor, while the new Wood Badge focused on learners. Local youth leadership training also focused on instruction, but that would also be changing. The BSA needed a new training paradigm where units offered initial leadership training, introduction to leaderships for troops, crews, and ships. Councils would provide the next level of youth leadership, JLTC, and eventually the National Youth Leadership Training, or NYLT. And at the national level, there would be a new program called the National Advanced Youth Leadership Experience, or NAYLE. NAYLE would focus on the learner and the practical applications of the leadership lessons from previous trainings. NAYLE made its debut at Philmont in the summer of 2006. NAYLE would utilize the all-volunteer staff model introduced in 1981. The staff would be assembled from around the BSA and would come together at Philmont for 1 week of staff development, followed by 1 week of active course delivery. For many of the weeks each summer, the staff development week overlaps with the active course week, sharing resources and facilities. NAYLE participants were 14 to 17 until 2010, when the BSA added Venture Scouts and the pool of participants expanded to those up to 20 years of age. The addition of venturers also allowed for girls to be both participants and also serve on staff for the first time. Participants also needed to have completed NYLT in their home council before attending NAYLE. 2010 was also the only year when the staff was at Philmont for 3 weeks. The first week was staff development, followed by 2 weeks of course delivery, with each week being a new group of participants. This turned out to be way too much for the staff and was abandoned after 1 year. From 2006 to 2012, NAYLE was housed at the Rocky Mountain Scout Camp. But then in 2011, the state of New Mexico said overnight camping at RMSC had to be stopped due to the earthen dam above the campsite. Philmont needed a new home for NAYLE. The new site for NAYLE was going to be the old NJLIC site located on top of Maxwell Mesa at Rayado. It would also be called the Rayado Ridge Leadership Camp. Construction at RRLC began in September 2012 with plans to be open for the 2013 summer season. Construction delays made hosting the first week of training in 2013 at Rayado Ridge impossible. The staff and participants were housed and fed at the Philmont Training Center and were bused to Rayado Ridge for training sessions when the facilities at PTC were unavailable or just wouldn't work. Today, Rayado Ridge is an excellent training environment with camping facilities for each NAYLE crew and both the developing and active staff. There are 2 identical mirrored training porches, as well as a large open-air pavilion for training and as an inclement weather option for outdoor activities. Between the training porches are 2 course staff office areas, an office for the camp director, and a commissary and kitchen for use by the program. Additionally, there's a beautiful assembly area, an amphitheater, and an expansive activity area where a variety of hands-on leadership activities can take place. Vault toilets and individual shower facilities are also available for both staff and participants. Each summer, 5 adults and 16 youth serve on staff for 6 sessions of NAYLE. Participants number from 48 to 56 for each course. All the activities and experiences are built around a daily theme and reinforce something learned as part of the NYLT experience. As part of the course, participants and staff receive a weatherproof journal where they record their experiences and reflections in a special session held each day called Beyond NYLT. These guided discussions and journaling times are highly protected by the staff and are where participants really get the opportunity to see how the day's activities and experiences reinforce the theme and the NYLT lessons being learned. There will be a new youth leadership opportunity being offered at Philmont as PTC will host the first ever session of NYLT Leadership Academy. The NYLT Leadership Academy came to life in 2006 at Yards Creek Scout Camp in New Jersey as a Northeast Region program called the Youth Staff Development Course. This program goes back to draw on the traditions of training trainers, much like the earlier NJLIC focused on. In 2010, the program moved to Washington, D.C., and the name NYLT Leadership Academy was adopted. In 2015, a St. Louis-based course was added, and in 2016, a second Washington, D.C. course was added along with a new course in Los Angeles. In 2021, courses were offered in St. Louis and at the Summit Bechtel Reserve, and Philmont will join 3 other locations in offering NYLT Leadership Academy for Scouts across this country this summer. That's all the time we have for this week. Join us next time as we continue to learn more about the history of the BSA through the collection of the National Scouting Museum and Artifact of the Week.